Hello, this is First Fire Non-Assault Move. Welcome back to the 9th video in the War in the East series. I've already gone ahead and done a bunch of moves, including our aerial recon. And there's not much changed as far as objectives for Army Group North, Center, and South. We're just carrying on with the execution of those plans. And I'll show you what it looks like, starting with the Finns. Finns have moved down as far as they can go and up until the point where they're coming into contact with the Soviets. Made a few attacks. Let me see if I can show you. Here and here, where we were able to push back some Soviets to get a little bit of a mini encirclement on two Soviet divisions. Just some minor attacks and minor victories. Mostly it's going to be a Mexican standoff until the Soviets start to bring to bear just overwhelming forces, and the Finns will eventually get pushed back because we're not really giving them any relief, and we were expecting that. And continuing to tromp through all this wonderful wilderness, trying to find Soviets to establish a front here and go as far as we can. And it's not bad, not a bad thing for the Germans that the Soviets will have to defend this area with some forces, and the more forces up here and over here, the less there are facing German troops. Our line is established here and here. No attacks conducted here. Show you that real quick. And the Soviets don't seem to be making any effort to bring their forces that are concentrated around Leningrad down to start counterattacking. Maybe that's in their plans in the next several weeks, and maybe they're waiting for winter. We didn't try to attempt to take Pskov, just moving up and establishing our line. However, we did make several attacks along this part of Army Group North's area of operations, and we were having some success. It was some intense infantry on infantry action that, our losses are not insignificant this turn so far, but we want to put pressure here because the lines are fairly thin for the Soviets, and our infantry divisions are in pretty good shape, and I think we have the advantage here. And worst case scenario, they bring forces, they reinforce this section of the front, but that means they're pulling forces away from other sectors of the front that are more critical to our plans, and that's a good thing. And if they leave things as they are, we will have a mini infantry breakout and start to threaten Velukai Luki. So that's pretty good. Yeah, you can see the number of attacks, and there were, consecutive deliberate attacks against the Soviets as they're defending in these marshlands and across rivers. So very hard, tough fought battles between both sides. Got some retreats. So yeah, we're gonna press on with this here. So that's pretty good. And moving down, this is our most vulnerable section of the front, where we just have security forces on this little bend of the Daugava. But I'm not seeing them mass any forces. I mean, they have enough right now to cause trouble and start pushing us back, which will give pause to this effort here, and I'll have to pull back some divisions to reinforce. Hope that doesn't happen. Have made some attacks, limited around here, but letting the Soviets know that, hey, I don't care if you have massed formations up against us, we are still going to attack back. And again, hard fought, tough battles around here. We tried to take Pskov. No, that's not Pskov. Apologies. Vitebsk, and we failed. They held again. But we did push them back a number of times to give us some breathing space and to cause significant casualties. We got a rout, a rout, a rout, and a rout. So, yeah, these divisions here did a really good job holding the front and actually counterattacking the forces. Well, they really weren't attacked last, so it weren't counterattacked, but we initiated localized attacks. Give them something to think about. They haven't tried to take Smolensk yet. I'll show you. We very efficiently, and it was a little surprisingly easy, cleared out about 15 or so Soviet divisions that we encircled the last turn. And we managed to do it with 3 or 4 of our own infantry divisions, so they're out of the fight for any kind of further offensives going east. But that was really good for us, and not bad. They almost all surrendered. There's a couple of retreats, but you can see there's a whole bunch of surrenders that took place, and that was only after 1 week. So very good result there for Army Group South, Army Group Center. And we have yet to do a whole bunch of attacks still, and we'll try to capture some of the good stuff for you on camera. But the idea is to make these videos a little shorter. Swamp walkers are making their way finally along the river and try to put some pressure on the Soviets here. Pripyat's finally getting under our hexes under German control. That's great. And we are also fighting back along the Kiev front. Soviets have had amassed a lot of their divisions along to defend Kiev, but we did a whole bunch of our own attacks back at them. And once again, like little trading blows, trading punches here, and I think we are getting the best of them. And I think that by attacking them back, that's going to relieve pressure on us and put a little bit, ease some of the attacks on, not ease the attacks, but reduce the number of attacks the Soviets will conduct against us in the next couple of weeks, I believe. And in fact, we're going to press the advantage because I have, did I move? I had another full corps. I already moved them off camera to reinforce the front in Kiev and also press the advantage. I don't want to attack Kiev frontally, but if we can get over the river in some of these places to yet again to cause even more concern for the Soviets, they're going to have to concede the Dnieper bend here because trouble is on the way. And I don't want to be the guy that says, oh, if only, but I will say it, if only we had fuel. Before I get there, quickly recap what happened here. We did some attacks of our own, similar to what we did along the fronts that the Soviets were up against us and causing some concern for us. So we attacked back, pushed them off once again. This is like the third week of a seesaw, causing the Soviets to retreat. They come back, they make some attacks, causing them to retreat. They come back, make attacks, but this might be the last we see. Well, maybe. You may have some ideas to attack again. We're a little stretched, but I have some opportunities to commit more forces to this bridgehead. Or, let's move down and see what's happening here. Well, I had enough. I mean, our panzer commanders were really getting agitated and itchy and waiting for fuel, so they said, you know what, if we have to push our panzers into the fight, we're going to do so. And that's pretty much what we did. They got out of their tanks, pushed them up to firing positions, and engaged the enemy, because most of these divisions here had probably at the most 20% fuel. Some are like 5 and 7%. So we did some localized attacks. There's one Panzer Corps that was a little better off than the rest of them. That was 3rd Panzer Corps. They had been idle for like 3 weeks. so they had probably about 30 to 40% fuel. So we have a little breakout here, and really can't do anything further. The crews get tired pushing their tanks, and they're not going any further. I have 22% fuel, and the 11th Panzer, again leading the way, kicking some butt, can go a number of directions. Can continue a couple of hexes to the south, to the east, or up to Dnepropetrovsk, which I really want to take this turn, because we have this reserve Panzer Corps that has done nothing again for about 3 weeks. Looking good with 80% fuel, 78% fuel, 76 and 75. If we quickly look, if the 11th, uses the last of its fuel, it could probably, get these hexes under our control, which will make the movement factors a little easier for the 31st Panzer Corps to take Dnepropetrovsk. And that's the plan. I have moved pretty much everybody that I can move, other than 31st, and I think I might have a couple attacks here. And I have all of Army Group Center, whatever's left there, to continue with that offensive. See which more damage we can do. And we have little breakthrough here as well, as our infantry caught up and our Axis miners are finally contributing. Odessa, they attacked us and pushed us back, but we will be the Romanians are undeterred and will continue to press on with Odessa. And it looks like it's just their airfields back here, with probably a little bit of some reserves holding Nikolaev. And if we take Dnepropetrovsk, we will take Dnepropetrovsk, and I just want to point out what it's looking like. I did multiple aerial recons, and in the course of getting this far with the 10th and the 11th Panzer and the 14th, there were multiple airfields right back here, and we scattered them and were able to capture a whole bunch of fuel. I wish that it would immediately, we could get out of our tanks and start filling them up with that fuel that we captured, but the fuel goes into the overall reserves for the Germans, and it trickles back to us later on. We don't immediately get that fuel, because one of the airfields we captured, I think it was over 20 or 30, I don't think it will show it as a battle, no. 20 or 30 tons of fuel, which is marvelous. So hopefully we'll feel the effects of getting a little more fuel from that, even if it's a trickle. So that is what's happening on the front, and we got a little bit more to do with Army Group South. Not much. Most of it is going to be Army Group Center, and I will get back to you. Okay, back after going through and confirming we have moved just about everybody we could possibly move. And I was looking at Army Group Center here. I was thinking, oh boy, if we could only have 1 or 2 more infantry corps available to us, it would make me feel a lot better about extending these flanks, because we are developing our own assailant that the Soviets would love to snip off by attacking the flanks. But they're strong enough right now, I think, having attacked them and pushed them back pretty handily. So that's still looking good, but we're tying up more and more of our divisions as the front extends, and we have this penetration, so to speak, into the Soviet lines. We're forming this bulge. So I looked all around. Where could I pull anybody? Did I miss anybody? And lo and behold, I'll show you. It's pretty fun. So, yeah, here. An Italian expeditionary force. So, yeah, welcome, brother Italians, to the Eastern Front. You're going to go out and start plugging some gaps where we have some weaknesses. I found them clicking on pretty much everybody all the way in Zagreb. There's a nice force here. They unfreeze. I don't know when, but I'll check back with them. Yeah, so we're pulling everybody we possibly can. There's a bunch of well, not a bunch, but there's definitely more Romanian formations in here. We'd love to just push them up to the front to just cover down on some spots where we can free up our own German infantry divisions. But I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, welcome to. It's warm now, but it's gonna get cold pretty quick. Our Italian friends. So looking at this bulge of ours and where we are going to continue the attack, I didn't want to push further south. Number one, the Soviets have a greater concentration. We'd have less favorable results, I believe. And we're just going to continue to stretch like an elastic band our front if we went to the south and east. And strategically, and, operationally, how does that position us? We could threaten Gommel, but we're not in a position to think of a grand encirclement at this time, which would be a semi-historical encirclement around the forces that are building up around Kiev, because we are committing our last Panzer Corps to the south, this little breakout we have going. Don't have the forces to really link up with Army Group Center by any stretch of the imagination at this point. So more localized gains, and if we break out here and we're going to try and encircle Smolensk, we might be able to form a similar smaller pocket of some Soviets through here, like we did last turn, and we keep biting out chunks of their army. They'll have less and less to throw in front of us. And it didn't show you what is tantalizingly close is Moscow and our front. Getting closer. It looks really achievable, but in the next couple of months, as the weather and more Soviet reinforcements come pouring in, that this window of opportunity is going to close pretty quickly. But we're going to get as close as we can, and we're going to start by attacking down here. I want to shape the operation, and this will give us a little better feeling of if we really want to attack north and east. So the cavalry is going to try and get some progress in and around Smolensk, because I want to free up these two motorized divisions that are just kind of holding in place in front of Smolensk, and free them up by bringing in the 5th Infantry Division and facing off there. But our troops have been attacking pretty steadily the past couple of weeks, and we're going to need a little bit of a break, a tactical pause, maybe a week or so to refit Army Group Center's Panzer Corps, because even though in a much better supply situation in Army Group South, we're still sitting at only half fuel the beginning of each turn. So that was good. Push them out. I don't want to move up to have those odds against us. So let's get 5th Corps infantry involved in the fight. That'll free up. We'll go with the 20th motorized. Get a little freedom of maneuver here. Just some hasty attacks. Do we have enough for a deliberate? No, we don't. I'm gonna go for it. Yeah, I didn't expect a good result there, but it was worth a try. We can now bring up. So we can do a deliberate with the 10th now, which we will. Very good. And all right. Good. Okay, yeah, 167, 2 deliberates, and out of steam. Supplies and ammo starting to dwindle. We'll get 7th across. Just attack them. We're gonna go for it. Yeah. Let's see if we can move them out. Getting a little greedy there, but we still have 8th Infantry. Yeah, let's assign that task to a different division. Still 8th Corps. Nah, this looks like these attacks are going to have to take place next week. Showing a little wear and tear now within our infantry. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Alright, I got 2 tank divisions here. It's just innumerable little minor rivers to cross throughout here. So, yeah. So many little rivers to cross. All right. No, boy. That was a big mistake. Oh, that's what happens when you have some... sometimes you can have a redo of a move, but that's when you're not up against the enemy, so you don't cheese out and say, oh no, but now we just made a mistake. Well, it looks like we are attacking here. And we'll start with 18th Motorized. Oh well, maybe Fog of War here. 3 fresh divisions. We will go or deliberate. No, we don't have enough. With just, do we not have enough? Yeah. I think 23rd doesn't have enough in its tank for a deliberate attack. So we'll try 17th Panzer. Do I want someone to support him? Yeah. Can we move 18th off? No. So we're overstacked right now. Can we move 23rd? Yeah, that's just a waste of effort. All right. 17th by itself. Excellent work. I wanted to... Those 2 divisions were supposed to attack through here because I wanted to push these forces out, rout them, shatter them, and get in amongst and go one-on-one with these Soviet tank divisions and do some damage to them, but I messed that up. We'll move up 23rd. Can 18th join you? Nope. And 17th is out of steam. We got 35th. All right. No, even though they just suffered a deliberate attack and they look to be in rough shape, they were able to hold. Yeah. Just stacks and stacks in front of us that sometimes are tough to move. We have 8th Infantry. We could commit here because this is just border regiments. Yep. We could get a hasty with 2 divisions or a deliberate with 1 division. I'm gonna go deliberate with 1. No. Alright. Well, next turn, this is more of a shaping operation turn than a full-fledged breakout for us. That's alright, we're getting in position. And we're going to display Smolensk. I really want to take Smolensk sooner than later. Because that's a nice city to have and get it away from the Soviets. Yeah, not going as swimmingly as the last turn. I'm going to pause for a second and see what I have back here so that you don't see me just clicking around, and I'll come back with any more attacks. Alright, we have our Panzer divisions lined up for the next attacks. Went through here, made sure there's no one else that had moves to move east because they did the pocket cleanup, and I just shifted in place some Panzer divisions, the ones with the most fuel, we put up to the front to make attacks. And for instance, 4th Panzer could only have 10 movement factors to move up an attack, so they are going to hold in place. And unfortunately, we have our 39th Panzer Corps stuck in down here, but we're going to try and see if we can shatter or rout some of these Soviet tank divisions in a tank battle. We're going to do that. So, didn't have all the combat power available to us due to being out of position a little bit, and also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About 4 to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 of our own infantry divisions were tasked to clean up the Soviets. So they're out of position and exhausted. And next turn we'll move them up. They probably won't be able to do much, but we can hold sectors with them and conduct the attack with those forces of our own that are ready for offensive operations. And those numbers are dwindling a little bit. We're going to need to regroup and reconstitute a little bit. I know it's the first week of August, but I'm feeling the crunch of time. But we're doing pretty good, right? Look at that, Moscow. Alright, so we did move up. 45th, and we have enough for a deliberate. That's great. That's a little better positivity there. After the Soviets holding a few times. And now we will attack with 18th Panzer. We have enough for a deliberate. Excellent. A tank division routed. Nice. Not fantastic results, but we'll take it. Still 3 stacks strong. Yeah, we're getting to our last few divisions that can contribute to the attack. And I want to say disappointed, but you know, they've already done a great job, considering we were not too long ago facing a sizable Soviet concentration defending the Dnieper and along the Daugava and the land bridge between both major rivers. And now we have completely busted through. No, I won't say completely. There are strong Soviet forces on both flanks of our salient that's forming. But we will press on the attack. We have a few, well, more than a few, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 6 of our own divisions back in the action to hold a line and continue the attack next week, meaning next turn. Still first week of August. We still have some action left. I don't really want to attack over the river. So we'll press onwards and continue to hopefully get a rout on some of these, or a shatter, because they are holding strong right now. Come on, 12th Panzer. Oh, we only have enough for a hasty. Yeah, I'm not gonna put him out to dry there. Well, yes, we are, because look at, do we have anyone to fill in this spot? No, that's a no. Yeah. Getting a little stretched. I was thinking to, well, you could send. They're in rough shape right now. I want to take advantage of that. But I also don't want to... Yeah. You are going no farther. Yeah, we are running out of steam. Or we have ran out of steam. We still have 19th. That can go into the attack. We still have... We can pull out the 29th from the line here. 4th is staying in place. We don't want to give any ground here. Although, yeah, only 14% fuel. Yeah, I really want to take advantage of them while I can. Alright, so it's going to happen. Well, on 29th. The best we can do right now is a hasty. Yeah. Even suffering multiple retreats and a lot of losses, they held out. So now we have to put 19th up there, so that 29th's not ganged up on. And we still have 17th. No, we don't have. Yeah. All right. You know. Excellent. Route them. I think there's a good order. Tank division is it's helped these two severely damaged rifle divisions. Oh, there's a cavalry and a motorized to hold firm there. And granted, we are low on everything right now. So this is a hope for better things next turn, which I won't say a breakthrough, but we've definitely disrupted their front throughout here, and I don't expect a counterattack along from this axis of advance for the Soviets. And we're plenty strong along here. Any counterattacks, definitely not expecting that. And we're strong here still. So less than optimal, but again, this is more of just localized attacks and smaller gains this turn. We'll see what we can do next turn with the Army Group Center. But not to be forgotten, we are going to have a tank battle. Can we add him too? Yep. They lost 164 tanks. We lost 6. All right. Out of steam, out of steam. No point in pressing on in this direction. All right. Less than stellar, but still not too bad. We are within a tantalizing distance of Moscow with not much left right now. The flanks are strong, so it's strong on the flank. So they have to make a decision. Are they going to press attacks against our flanks, or are they going to pull out the forces that are on our flanks to get in our way of Moscow? So, as it stands now, if we stretched our forces all the way to Moscow, It'd be incredibly thin. We have to destroy more Soviets. We have to rout and shatter more Soviets, just so that they just can't continuously have three stack strong hexes in front of us. Alright, so let's move down here. We're going to press on with 11th Panzer. See how close we can get to. Yeah. Oh. Alright, it's defended with 3 rifle divisions. Yeah. This is a turn the Germans have maybe stuck their neck out too much, but we have 31st Corps? Yeah. Let's bring him in. You know, I think I can still disrupt all these. 13 tons of fuel, 13 tons of fuel, 13 tons of fuel. 3 times 13, 39 tons of fuel. 69 tons of fuel. Jeez, I wish it could go right into our tanks directly. But that's excellent. Oh boy. Do I get really crazy? I don't see why not. Well, let's see what it looks like by bringing down our other Panzer Corps. Totenkopf, come on down. I just want to build that corridor, as always. So you're going to hold the southern part of this 1 ton of supply. Alright, no one before us, and I did a lot of recon as well, as I did similar to Army Group Center, to see what's really in front of us, and like Moscow. And what is in front of us here? Not much. I mean, if only we had fuel, we could, you know, cause some catastrophic damage here in the south right now, as it's shaping up. Alright, so you're there, you're there, you're there. Do we have enough? No, I think we did all our attacks here. We just got a little 1 hex wide supply line. It's 75% fuel. It's all going to be burnt. Do I do something crazy like disrupt all these? You know what? To cross the river is we go from 14 to 8. And that's not bad. We can grab a lot more fuel, and that's pretty cool. And we're across the Dnieper in this location as well. We're not going to take Dnipropetrovsk this turn by any stretch. We don't have much threat here. Soviets are pretty pinned down, and you can, as we witnessed, moving out of zone of control, it costs some movement factors. So I don't anticipate any of these Soviets to threaten us in this direction. We still have the 1st and the 6th from 31st. Oh boy. You know what? Doing it. 6 tons, 13 tons, 3 tons. Oh boy. Look at that. That's just amazing stuff. 30. Wow. Wow. Well, 36 is extremely isolated, but who can attack the 36th? I'm not sure there's anyone really that can do it. That's pretty good. You know, once we get across the river, though, it's tough to bring him back. But are we really going to attack Petrovsk with our armor? No. I think the better option is potentially, yeah, I'm dreaming now, right? To get an encirclement here, but that would require fuel, which we don't have, and we burnt the last of it. But we can't stop attacking. We can't stop advancing. Continue to do that. This will lock down whatever is under this stack from moving and threatening the 36 from this direction. And they would have to move zone of control through me. And I don't think they're going to concede Petrovsk to cross the river and attack. Surround. Doing it. Well. There was not any ground forces there. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. We're going to have to get our headquarters at least here, because way back when we were wondering why within 5 hexes some of our infantry wasn't in supply in the swamps, and it's based not on just distance but on movement factors. So it was accounting for the movement factors it would take to get supply out to our stranded infantry walking around in the swamp. So that's why they were out of supply, like 3 hexes away or 4 hexes away. Let's see what happens here. Which means we have to put... Yeah, I don't mind that. We'll have the 6th as a reserve here. That's amazing. Well, maybe not amazing, but pretty cool that we are deep in Soviet operational space, so that we're disrupting all their aircraft and airfields. And I bet you that is also just aircraft and a headquarters. And they have no forces in front of us right now. So this is a problem for the Soviets. We can't completely capitalize on this opportunity right now because of fuel, but I'll take it. And everybody is in supply. Are you in supply? No, you're not. So we'll move headquarters here. Make sure you're in supply. Yep. Okay. Alright, I'm going to have to reassign you to a different headquarters. Alright. 57th Infantry is going to now be assigned to 36 Panzer Corps. So what you do is you go in here, click that. We find 36 Panzer Corps. Costs 3 admin points. We have bucket loads of admin. So now you should be in supply. Yep. Alright. I think that is the extent of our movement and attacks. I've gone through at least twice looking for everything, and Steve said we have 5 of these railroad repair units. I moved this one. He can't do anything else. There's one. Where's 2? There's 2. And I looked, man. I looked. And we moved him to the best of our ability. We repaired that rail behind us. It says axis rail damage 1. It was 100, but when you repair it goes down to 1, and then the next turn it becomes an axis rail, an undamaged axis rail. So we moved him. That's 2. The Brest-Litovsk railroad engineer. I moved him. That's 3. And our 4th one, getting pretty darn close. Oh, where are you, 4th one? There's number 4. And there's number 5. All right, there were 5. I don't know if I left this one idle, Mr. Jones, Steve Jones, because he's already gotten this far, and yeah, maybe I did miss a couple turns with him. That's too bad. Then our railhead would have been about up here. Okay, so I think I've moved everyone. Once again, I will go off camera and make absolutely certain, and then we'll execute the Soviets' turn on camera. See what they do. Alright, I've gone through again. It was a little quicker this time because I'm pretty sure, and I can't keep doing this over and over. Obsessive compulsive, making sure I moved every single buddy that I can possibly find, but I think I did. Let's look at losses before we click. So Germans this turn lost 24,000. That's the attacks I was referencing earlier. Just infantry attacks against the Soviets that were facing them along Army Group North front and Army Group Center as well, and some attacks in and around Kiev. So we accrued some losses there, which is not insignificant by any stretch. Up to 144,000. That is quite a bit. 400 guns this turn. Wow, yeah. Heavy action for the Germans. Maybe not much gains to show on this turn, but I think it has positioned us to a nice point where we can have better results in the next turns that comprise August. Alright, so yeah, Soviets lost 167,000, and the bulk of that came from cleaning up that little pocket that we achieved last turn. Oh, my. 1,000 tanks they lost this turn. Opposed to 121, but again, maybe actually outnumbered 10-1 in tanks. So, still encouraging. Up to 8,000 tanks they've lost up until August. We have routed throughout the course of the start of Operation Barbarossa, that even up to August, destroying 8,000 Soviet tanks. That's a good result, I think. All right, that's the losses. I'm ready to hit the next turn button. Soviets are really aggressive. I think they attacked twice as much as the previous turn. We'll see what they do here. And I'm concerned mostly about the flanks of Army Group Center, that salient, and if somehow they can get in position and take advantage of the Army Group South panzers, and maybe getting more aggressive against our security, holding that section of front. Don't worry, security divisions, the Italians are on the way, and I think I'm going to plug them in there. Here we go. One thing I have not done or looked into, or I think I did look, and how to resupply via air, like airdrops, fuel drops. Don't know if that would have made a difference for us with our tanks. Taking some photos, aerial recon. Yeah, they don't like how things are shaping up for them in Army Group South, definitely around the Odessa region and Crimea. Yeah, marching east. And if you're in zone of control, you can't get on the rail, so they can't escape via rail down here. I think you're pulled back. I think despite the lack of fuel and attacking with low fuel, it still has kept the pressure on, so I think it's limited the Soviets' counterattacks on us. We are a bit stretched thin in some places. How will the Soviets react and take advantage of that? Yeah, they are, I think. Well, here's the thing. During the Soviets' move, not all the units are rendered on the map, so it looks like Kirovo Rog was... Ooh, boy. Yeah, okay, here come the attacks. Yeah. Hold out, yes. This is my concern spot. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Held. No, that's legitimate. They are looking to put stress on us. Looks like we retreated in good order there. Didn't lose any tanks. No, Soviets weren't silenced. They made some decent attacks. Nothing too terrifying. Pushing us back a hex or two here. Can that amount to something develop into further? Like operational concerns or just localized concerns? Are we holding out there as well? That's kind of an attack because you can, not really accomplishing anything. It's interesting that they are remaining in place here. Rather than escaping into the Crimea. and shoring up what is really no Soviet forces in front of Metro Petrovsk. Wow, did they really leave? 1, 2, 3, 4? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter for the Soviets if they left 4 divisions behind there to be easily encircled. But we're not seeing every formation on the map, so there may be more there to defend the flank. So that was that. Soviets again, pretty aggressive, identifying an extended flank on Army Group Center's northern boundary. So have to pay attention to that. See what we can do in response. Take a quick look at the losses they caused to themselves and us. Wow, almost as much as we did when we attacked. Am I reading that right? No. Okay, never mind. I'm thinking of something else. Okay, 19,241 guns. We lost a lot of tanks. I think that was when they pushed back one of our Panzer divisions. 52,000. They lost 296. Yep. Soviets attacked, I want to say heavily, but not insignificantly this turn. Enough attacks to not be dismissed. We're going to have to pay attention to this. All right. You got to be kidding me. What is this? I don't know. I'll look into that. I have no idea what that is. Oh boy. Yeah. Maybe I'll have the Italians take care of them. I don't know. So there we have it. On to the second week of August. Soviets made some concerted effort to break through here, which they did. They pushed back. They ganged up on 122nd. They're just able to mass these like stack upon stack upon stack along the front, which is troublesome. And they pushed back. Who was it? Was it here? Yep. 29th Motorized retreated. Soviets lost 1,000 men, 87 tanks. We lost 125 men, no tanks, and 2 artillery pieces. Very well ordered retreat. That's good. Yeah. Pushing in on the flanks, but we'll see. We'll do some area recon and see what's built up in front of us. I mean, if they start massing 3 stacks high, even the Soviets have limits to how many formations they have. So if they're stripping to mass attacks, then they're stripping their front in other places. And in doing so, maybe can take advantage of where they've reduced their force concentrations along the front and then counterattack. See if maybe we can think about that here. Maybe we redirect north, because I think the north is the heaviest concentration of Soviet forces. In the south, not so much. They've really pulled back. and we can continue to defend lighter here, and let's attack up here, I think, next, which kind of puts us not closer to Moscow, but it gets us away from all these rivers and swamps and gets a little bit of clarity, clear terrain here, and that kind of works out with our attacks in this area, which the Soviets have pulled out. They didn't like all that hard work, all that heavy fighting paid off. The Soviets pulled back, and now maybe some kind of encirclement here. Think about it. Anyway, this is great. I wanted to shorten the videos a little bit and get more of them out. If you want to see more of the moves in the action, let me know. But we're going to wrap it up here. This is First Fire non-assault move out.